Hey there, Sorry here. So while I'm waiting for Pinello to come to me after maintenance, because like I've mentioned in previous videos, Gumi doesn't want us to have her until next week for whatever reason. So while I'm waiting for her to finally drop so that I can do a clear with Pinello, I wanted to try a clear to see if it was possible for me to put together a light team that could get it done without Celeste and without Bart. And so this is the team I was able to figure out, and this team just gets it past the finish line. There is a chance if we all roll low that we might actually miss the damage cap on this team. But the sort of critical unit to have, if you don't have Celeste and you don't have Bart, and you still want to try a light team, sort of critical unit to have here is Fina, Esper of Destruction, because she is a light unit. She has a 1000% leader skill for Blessing of the Crystals units, which Stern is a Blessing of the Crystal unit, and a 750% leader skill for light units, which is why we can still bring units like Maria. All right, and she does deal a little bit of damage herself. She's not as strong as these NV Plus units, obviously, but she does enough to sort of pick up the slack and make sure we get across the finish line. All right, so this was the way I was able to get it done without Celeste, without Bart. And so if you happen to have these units, then hopefully this works for you. If you have Bart but you don't have Celeste, then obviously just put Bart in place of Fina, Esper of Destruction, and this clear should work just as well, if not better. All right, so let's get in here, make sure we get this done first of all, and then we will I'll show you the gear at the end. All right, I want to make sure I show you a clear where we're actually hitting the damage cap, and there is a chance if we roll low that we might miss it. So let's get in there. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, Prompto, since mine is EX1, he doesn't start with a full LB gauge. So we're gonna, first of all, we gotta break the boss. We're gonna fill LB and then just use anything that has 0 MP, because we don't wanna use too much MP. Gotta make sure he's got plenty of MP for later on. So any of those 0 MP moves. Obviously, if yours is already EX2, you don't need to fill his LB, so just do the 85% break and you're fine. All right, Maria can just guard on this turn. Ash is going to cover, provoke, and Shelga. And everyone else can just guard on this turn. All right, so there the boss has dispelled us. That's fine, we don't care. All right. I'm just going to hit reload because I want Ash to do the exact same thing she did last turn, kind of resetting up her cover and provoke and all that. This turn, Maria is going to use 10,000 needles so that the whole party has at least 1 stack of Mirage, because we don't have any 2-stack Mirage units on the party this time. Prompto is actually going to shift to his Brave Shift form on this one. And he is going to, on this turn, he's going to do, he'll do Mechanical Trap for the Imperil field. Not machinery boost. We haven't even reached our prime. This does the LB mod boost. We're actually going to use his normal form LB because it is because this is a 4-turn clear, and it is bolting strike, triple bolting strike, so that he can chain with Maria. Okay, and then for the last thing, we'll just do like Death Blow. Okay, something to use that doesn't cost much MP. All right, here we're going to do Protectica, so we have some physical mitigation for the physical attacks. We'll do Brilliant Veil for just the general imbue, and then Elemental Power Light to Maria, because Maria will be our strongest unit on this party. All right, Esper of Destruction, Fina can just guard again, but Stern is going to use Prescience, which has a 2-stack Mirage for himself. So he will take 0 physical damage. Okay, so now we're going to set up for our big burst. Fina is going to summon Bahamut so that we have the amp field. I think it's 40%. You have to enhance it fully. So it's like, it's one of those crowns, so you have to use crowns on her to get the full effect. But yeah, that's going to be our light amp field. All right, Ash is going to shift. All right, and she's going to use Machine Achilles, which does the 250% killers. All right, she's going to use that again on Maria, because she's going to be our powerhouse. She's going to be our big carry unit. Okay. So you notice the boss still has some breaks, because Prompto does the preemptive break, so we don't have to worry about breaking the boss again this turn. All right. Prompto is going to do Circular Saw, all right, for the 30% sword imperil, and then Auto Bow, or Auto Crossbow, I mean, for the 30% gun imperil for himself, and then his 150 amp. All right, Maria is going to do Surpassing Limits Plus. Just fill LB as something to do for the second action, and then make sure you end with Mage of Light Rod. Okay, you could give her a sword. I gave her a rod. You could give her a sword if you need to squeeze out a little bit extra damage for that extra 5% weapon imperil, but I just gave her a rod for ease of, just for the ease of equipping her. Okay. All right, Fina Esper of Destruction is just going to do Elemental Burst Light. You can do any action for the second action, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do Purifying Rain, and then lend us your Strength Leviathan for the mag store with the modifier boost. Make sure that is the last action that you cast, so you don't accidentally use up that mag store. All right, Stern will do Surpassing Limits Plus, Fighter of Light Sword, and Prescience again. All right, because we don't have any Mirage on the party this time. Some units are built for evasion, like Maria in her normal form is built for evasion. Prompto in his Brave Shift form is built for evasion. Fina is built for evasion. Fina the Return, that is. So some of the units won't take damage anyways, but any way you can reduce the incoming damage is better, right? All right, so we're all set up for a turn 4 burst. Like I said, you could very easily just push this to turn 5 if you needed to. All right, just save all of your setup for turn 4. All right, so now Fina the Return does her SLB, which does the 400% full buff, 300% LB damage buff. Very nice. All right. And then Ash will do her Brave Shifted LB, which does the 150 machine killer for the rest of the party. Prompto is going to come back to normal, because his normal form LB is, like I mentioned, triple bolting strike, and does the 89% breaks with the imperils attached. Okay, Maria is going to shift, do her Brave Shifted LB. All right, Fina and Stern do their LBs. So, so Prompto and Maria are chaining triple bolting strike. Fina and Stern are chaining triple mirror of equity. All right, so everybody has a good chain partner here. Obviously, you're going to start with Prompto so that you get the breaks and imperils before all the other damage dealers jump into the mix. Okay, so we should have all of our weapon imperils in play. Yep, we got Rod, we've got Sword, and then, yeah, Fina will do her bow imperil, so we should be all good. All right, let's see how we do. Hopefully we hit that damage cap. We're looking for 24.5 billion or higher. There you go, 101 hit chain, so we get the chain count score, no problem. Whoa, 30 bill. Nice, that was a good high roll. That felt pretty good. My earlier attempt was like 26 bill, so I was like, I was a little worried there. All right, and there you go. There's your perfect score. Let's see who the winners were on this one. Yeah, obviously, obviously Maria just like taking this one and going crazy on this one. Even with the lower leader skill and with the lower weapon imperil, she's still just crushing it. Yeah, that is impressive. Wow. Okay, so yeah. Maria is just loving this fight. But yeah, so there you go. Maria obviously doing the bulk of the damage, but she did get, she got the 100% amp, she got the 250% killer. I honestly don't know how Stern would do compared to her. My assumption is Maria would do better simply because she gets the Xenogears. She gets the Xenogears buffs, but yeah, you can always play around with giving it to Stern instead, whichever unit you feel is going to be better deserving of all those. But that is just another way that you can get this one done with a light team that doesn't require Celeste and doesn't require Bart. All right, let's go take a look at the gear. See how we got this one done. All right, in her normal form, I just geared her for ailment resist. That's what the hairpin of purity is, and then 100% evasion. So Thief's Vest is nice because that's 30% evasion. Colorful Lay is 25% there. Obviously, her STMR is Escape Artist, 50%. And then some Bahamut synergies so that we can fill up the Esper gauge so that Fina can summon Bahamut. And then 10,000 needles, like I said, it's just there for the one stack of Mirage for the party. I gave her, this is Locke, Neovision Locke's vision card. She is a gathering unit, so this works on her. If you don't have it, just use the best one that you have, okay? So she 100% evade in this form, and then in her Brave Shift form is the full-on damage, so she gets all the gear. Notice I gave her the Dark Vision Rod. Like I said, you could do the Dark Vision Sword if you wanted to. You would just need to give her like Fryevia's TMR or something like that. But then you probably have to swap out like either Helm Mastery or Light Armor Mastery or something like that in order to fit a sword on there. Honestly, I don't think it's worth it for that 5% extra weapon imperil. So as you can see, she did just fine with a rod with a 25% imperil, so she's not hurting. And yeah, so she is maxed out on the killers. Let me just make sure you're looking at Magic Machine. Yep, she is good to go. All right. Ash in her normal form, yeah, I mean, she's just built for bulk, really. Nothing special. Yeah, you can see I didn't even bother to fully gear her for the resist on this one, so she's clearly just doing just fine. And then in Abrasia form, pretty much the same thing, just general bulk. If you want her to be totally 100% resistant to the magic damage, then just make sure she's full up on her light resist, and she should be good to go. Stern is, since he's EX2, obviously has his STMR. Dark Vision Sword in the other hand. Hero's Amulet is good for capping up his machine killers. It's got 50% machine killer on it, so otherwise Force Drive Armor is there just for some TDW. Gives you 50% TDW there. Emperor's Ring just for the stats. Ancient Dual Blade Arts is good for ramping up the chain. Yeah, making sure you got his TDW all there. Last Guardian for machine killers. And this is Tyvis's card. If you don't have it, just use the best one that you have on him. Best card that you got there. All right. He is maxed out on everything. Should be 300 machine. Yep, overcapped on all that good stuff. So good to go. Prompto. So Prompto is built for damage in his normal form for this clear. You know, if you wanted to go all the way up to turn 5, you could gear his Brave Shift form for damage as well. It's not really, I honestly don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's that big of a damage increase, to be honest. It's just an extra 50 times modifier on his Brave Shift at LB. It's not a big deal. But if that's the difference between you capping and not, then, you know, consider using what you see here in his Brave Shift form instead. All right, but make sure you have Titus's garb. Whichever form he's starting in, have Titus's garb so you get that preemptive LB boost. And here you see I've given him tons of chain speed, so his chain ramps up super quick, and then just capping up his killers. That's the card I give him to give him some extra TDW. So he's good on killers, LB damage, all that good stuff. In his Brave Shift form, I just wanted to make sure he didn't run out. There were a couple of times I was running this team and he was running out of MP. So I just gave him, I gave him some MP gear, and then obviously making him 100% evasion, and then some extra Bahamut synergies, again, to make sure we have the Esper gauge filled for Fina to summon Bahamut. Okay, but yeah, so he's built for damage in this form, and he's good to go. There you go. Fina, she's built for 100% evasion, built for ailment resists. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And just make sure you have upgraded her. Which one is it? This one, Packed with Bahamut. Make sure you've dumped crowns into this one in order to get the light amp, the 40% light amp field. Okay, that's pretty important. And yep, she should be good to go there. That's all she really needs. Fina, Esper of Destruction. She's EX2, so obviously she's wearing her STMR. Since we don't have anything greater than a 30% in weapon and peril on this party, her STMR is perfectly fine. Okay. Heart of Babel is for the LB damage. Saint's Amulet is for the magic machine killer. Ruler's Regalia, just because somebody needs it. And I guess I could have given it to Stern. Or wait, no, Stern was wearing Force Drive. Yeah, that's right. He needed the Force Drive armor. That's why he's not wearing it. And then just maxing out machine killers in her TDH. I gave her this card so that she has the chain cap boost. And she should be good on everything. Yeah, max out. Again, making sure you're looking at magic machine killers and LB damage. She is good to go, rock and roll. Awesome. And you notice I didn't even over level her. So I haven't, the only person on the party that's over leveled is Maria. I have not over leveled my Stern yet, because until I reach a point where I feel like I need to, I'm not going to bother over leveling him. I honestly don't even think I needed to over level Maria. I think she she did more than enough. But yeah, I was a little concerned about that, so over leveled Maria there. But yeah, that gets it done. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. If you're still struggling with this one because you don't have a Celeste and you don't have a Bart, but you do happen to have like a Maria and a Stern and all these other units, go get your rank 1 with this light team. All right, thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.